ó pẹ́ lẹ́yìn ni o nígbà táwọn ìgbé ìtàkùn láti rẹ̀ kí sí ìgbèlé àjùmọ̀ta bí ṣe wọlé.
My name is Mubad and I'm going to read the Surah Al-Shams. Surah Al-Shams. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا عقباها.
تكبير.
تكبير. Now to our daddy sisters.
2 minutes, right? Right side. Yeah, I'm coming from the back side. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
My name is Fazia Yani Mira Afia Abdulaziz Farida Koli. Today we will be reading a speech on the importance of kindness in Islam. Kindness plays a significant role in
Louder.
Islam, emphasizing the importance of treating others with compassion, empathy, and respect. In the teachings of Islam, kindness is not only seen as a moral virtue, but also means to take closeness to Allah and achieve success in both this life and hereafter. One of the fundamental principles in Islam is to love others what one loves himself. This concept promotes empathy and encourages Muslims to put themselves in the shoes of others, understanding their struggles and an extended hand. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "None of you truly believes until he loves his brother what he loves for himself." Kindness is not limited to one's family or friends, but to extend to the wider community. Islam encourages Muslims to be kind to their neighbors, regardless of their political background. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Whoever believes in Allah and the last day, let him be generous to his neighbor." Kindness in Islam also encompasses forgiveness and forbearance. Muslims are encouraged to forgive those who have wronged them and to respond to harm with patience and kindness. The Prophet Muhammad said, "The strong is not the one who overcomes evil by his strength, but the strong is the one who controls himself wisely." Additionally, Islam teaches that even small acts of kindness hold great value. A smile, a kind word, or a charitable gesture can have a profound impact on others. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Your smile for your brother is charity." Kindness in Islam is not limited to human beings alone. Muslims are also encouraged to show kindness and levity towards animals and the environment. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, "Whoever is kind to the creatures of Allah is kind to himself." Sadaqah, voluntary charity, holds great importance in Islam. It is a way for Muslims to express gratitude to Allah and help those in need. Sadaqah can take various forms, such as giving money, food, clothing, or even offering a helping hand. Sadaqah is not limited to financial contribution. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said every act of kindness is sadaqah. It is important to note that sadaqah should be given in sincerity and without seeking any worldly recognition or reward. Muslims are encouraged to give in secret, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best sadaqah is that given in secret. To conclude, sadaqah holds great significance in Islam. It helps purify the soul and help those in need. By practicing sadaqah, Muslims strive to communicate the generosity and compassion of Allah and contribute to the well-being of society. Kindness is of the utmost importance in Islam. It is a way to embody the teachings of the faith, reflect the mercy of Allah, and create a more compassionate and harmonious society. Good people listening to us speak about kindness.
Takbir. Ìbájúní káwọn ìyá yìí tí ó wá torí àwọn ọmọdé wọ́n yá fàlà àti láìkì owó yìí. Àmọ́ Ọlọ́run kó ṣáṣá owó náà dẹ̀ náà pè ní kẹ̀kẹ́ àlùjọ náà. Àwọn ìyá yẹn ti ń fojú òpó àfáyé àtowó lẹ́yìn owó ni. Àmọ́ Ọlọ́run kó wọlé àjọ́jú wájú Ọlọ́run. Wọlé àjọ́jú àtàwọn yìí. Àwọn ọmọ náà ń tẹ ní kí wọ́n wá kó náà ní wọ́n pọ̀ yìí. And they have displayed it to you, their parents, and I'm sure you are happy. Ọlọ́run kó wọlé abẹ́rẹ́ inú ìsìlámù tí wọ́n ń dàgbà sí yìí ibẹ̀ náà ní kọ́lọ́run jọ kalẹ́ sí. Àdánwò tí ń gbéyàn kúrò lójú ọ̀nà yìí Ọlọ́run má fi wọ́n wo ọ̀gáńkà ìwọ́n fi wájú Ọlọ́run. Gbogbo àwa tá a ṣì lọ́mọ náà a ṣì ń gbọ́ ọmọ ilé tó wá ṣì fọ̀ a ṣì ń gba ọmọ within enrolling and we still admitting students into our Arabic school. Àfáwà tí Ọlọ́run sì fi ṣe olùdarí wọn Ọlọ́run kó bá wa kù wọ́n lẹ́mìí ó sì fún wọn lálàáfíà. And to other teachers who have been assisting in as well, both male and female scholars, we pray Allah to reward all of them. May pray Allah to meet them at the point of their needs. Ìjà ìlà haúlà wọlé àkùnwọ́ta gbogbo àwọn ọmọdé yìí gbogbo ojú tó wò wọ́n àtàwọn tí wọ́n ti ka Kùránì ni àtàwọn tí wọ́n jókòó tí wọ́n gbọ́ àwọn ẹlẹgbẹ́ wọn fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ náà bísímìláì inna a'tayna bísímìláì rahmanir rahim inna a'tayna al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shani'aka huwal abtar.
No, thank you.
Now we're going to the second reason why we are here today. We are going to listen to our speaker and orator par excellence, a respected scholar of Islam, a man who has exerted positive influence within the Muslim community in the United Kingdom and Ireland. I met him before I met him. There's a Muslim community in Bedford. He happens to be the imam at that mosque. Therefore, we don't have a mosque even till now. We're still planning to have one. I prayed behind him several. I didn't know what took him out of that mosque. Since that day, I took over as the imam of mosque of Bedford community. But ever since, Tawfiq Abdul Salam, I never related him to any Nigerian Muslim community. Until the second walima we had at the Madal Harabi has been done. And I met him. So after I was Babai, and ever since we have been meeting at several Islamic levels. We pray Almighty Allah to continue to strengthen him. We pray Almighty Allah to give him long life. And we pray Almighty Allah to preserve him for Islam and for the entire community at large. We welcome you, sir. We say Ramadan Mubarak to you. And we thank you for always honoring our invitation at Madal Harabi. Our sincere dua to Allah is to put every effort for Allah to put it in your arsenal. Bijai la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ به من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تمسك بسنته إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد now we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala al-Wahid al-Qahar, the only one God that is worthy of worship in truth, who had out of his mercy guided myself and you to be at this place at this time in this blessed month of Ramadan. We ask him Jalla wa Ala to accept from all of you the time and the efforts and the resources you put into the path of Allah, and to reward you immensely and abundantly. We ask him subhanahu Jalla wa Ala to accept from us as well something that we have put forth in seeking his face, to pardon our errors with it, to raise our status with it, to put it on our mizan as-sanat yawm al-qiyamah. Allahumma ameen. My dear brothers and sisters in Al-Din, especially the Muslim mothers, because I can see that there are more mothers than the fathers. You are. And the reason is not far-fetched. The majority of the time, the mothers, they are the first teachers of their children. Even though the fathers, they are the one going out there in the cold and the hot weather to go and fetch the money to sustain the family. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward every one of you in abundance. What I would like to propose to Sheikh Qasim is, inshallah with Rahman, next year, we want to also invite the fathers as well. Yes. We want to make sure that we emphasize that the fathers should take a day off work to be here. And this message will go through our mother home, inshallah. Our fathers, we want them to also be present. Our fathers, we want them to attend the school shows. We want them to take time out, because it is part of the experience of the growth of that child as they are growing up. I know it's not easy for the father to take time off work because he's the one supplying the financial aspect of the house. But we also want the father to do as much as they can to take time out to be part of this type of programs. The reason why we have come is not because, oh, it's just a lecture. This lecture is not just a lecture that is connected to an organization. And it is clear for the one who knows the way we rule in the past. It is a lecture that is connected to ilm, to knowledge. Because the center is a center where they teach Quran and they teach the student the foundation of the deen. And we don't have any relationship with the Sheikh more than this. We love him only because we know that he is investing his time to help us teach these children what the foundation of our religion is. And for the one who knows us, we invite or we invest 101% in the places of Quran. Well, alhamdulillah, in Nigeria, there are so many majalis of Quran or places where they teach Quran that, well, alhamdulillah, we are part of. In this country as well, I am more interested in dealing with masajid where they have a madrasa for Quran and Arabiya rather than the one that they don't. Under my program for the Home Office, I engage an imam that has within their masjid a place where they have a youth center, a place where they are teaching Quran and Arabiya. Why? Because that I can multiply my reward there. Everybody is smart with their investment, right? The Muslim needs to be smart with the investment of the time that they do not have. Now, we are smart because we cannot do everything anymore. Gone are the days when we have enough time where we can attend all the programs. We cannot physically attend all the programs anymore today. If you invite the Sheikh to all programs now, he doesn't have the time because he's teaching Quran and he's busy teaching the kids. If you invite all these Sheikh, whom I've known all of them for a long time, they might not have the time to attend to everything. I personally do not have those time anymore. So if I want to go to a place, I will choose a place where the Quran is being taught over a place where Quran is not being taught. Gbogbo Mùsùlùmí ló gbọdọ̀ mọ ibi tí ó fi ẹ̀sìn rẹ̀ sí, tí ó mọ ibi tí ó fi ládàá rẹ̀ sí, nítorí pé ládàá Ọlọ́run kò ṣe ní kankan náà fún gbogbo ìbádà tá ń ṣe. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide our thinking and understanding of this. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Islam as a religion, Allah has given us a format. He has given us a manual. And that's why we say, Alif Lam Mim. ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This book, Al-Quran, that Allah has given to us, that they are teaching in this place, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. It is a guidance. It is a manual of life. It is a manual that whosoever follows that manual, they will be able to find tranquility and easiness in that world that they did not create. May Allah bless one of our elderly brother, Professor Aliado. He would always say, the Quran is the manual. And he will compare the manual of the Quran to the manual of your car, to the manual of this microphone, to the manual of your TV. Yeah, some of you rode nice cars to get here. Some of those cars are diesel based, some of them are petrol based. If you want to go in your own intelligence and say, I am not going to put petrol in the diesel one, I am going to put diesel into the petrol car, definitely you are going to face some level of inconvenience. Or you want to go to overly intelligence because you are the professor of 100 fields. And then you said, the petrol car, I'm going to put sand and I'm going to experiment whether it's going to move or it's not going to move. Definitely you are going to face a certain level of inconvenience. The same way, when you choose to believe that you are the doctors and professor of so many fields in this world, and you want to fill your life with your brain that is restricted. You want to do everything in this life the way you want to put petrol in the diesel car. The level of inconvenience you face will be the same level of inconvenience you face anytime you are not using the Quran as the manual of your life. Anytime you are not using the tongue of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the guidance for your life. And this is the message when Allah Ta'ala says, Hudan lil muttaqin. The Quran, it is the guidance for the people who fears Allah. And the people who fears Allah, they are not far-fetched. They are the reason why we are all gathering here in this month. The only reason why we are gathering is because it is in the month of Ramadan. Now when you look at the month of Ramadan, it is not far-fetched for the reason why Allah has given us the book. Hudan lil muttaqin. Why are we fasting Ramadan? Kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. The aim of fasting is for us to attain a certain level of the consciousness of Allah. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he said, the simplest definition of taqwa, it is the upswing and the downswing of the consciousness of your God in your heart, whether in your private or in your public life. Simple, isn't it? لِلْمُتَّقِينَ, for the people who fear Allah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, for the reason that we are fasting is for us to be able to attain a certain level, increased level of the consciousness of Allah. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, especially the young ones, the youth who is present, I would want to talk to you more, and I want the parents to take a lead from it. When I was coming, it became very busy. And I was like, oh, will I be able to make the invitation of the sheikh that we respect so much? So I asked Abdullah, may Allah bless her, look into the box. There must have been something we've written before. And she gave me all these sheets that we've done before on social media. But that's not what I wanted. When I got here, I found that actually what she gave me is not what I wanted. Because what I wanted was a lecture that I delivered at the World Trade Center in Dubai maybe a year or 2 years ago. And it was mainly on the impact of social media. Well, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I know that the impact on the youth is not far-fetched from the opposite of why we are raising a good child. In Islam, we have the concept of walad salih. Okay? The only reason why we have children is not because we want to be like my granddad. We want to have hundreds of children. Just to boast. Huh? Just to boast of us. Children. Al-mal wal-balun zinatul ayat. It is part of what we can boast with. Allah allows us to boast with our children and our wealth. And the Benzes and the mansions that you live in. That's allowed. But it is the same Quran that says, إِنَّمَا أَمْوَالُكُمْ وَأَوْلَادُكُمْ فِتْنَةٌ. So, these children that you can boast with, it is the same Quran that says, they can be tested for you. How do we know they can be tested? How do we know that when you have a child and you do not raise them, you do not give them the right tarbiyah, they will be bad for you? How? From the tongue of the best of mankind, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He told us in the hadith that is mashhur, that when the son of Adam dies, when he dies, we take him to the graveyard, right? Everything is cut away from him. Everything he had done. Illa bi thalatha. Except 3 things. Abi? And then he mentioned the concept of waladu salih yadihula. A good child that prays for that person doesn't stop. As long as that person dies, checks out, and you have a child that has been raised upon hudan lil muttaqin. Don't forget. That's where we want to go. Hudan lil muttaqin. That guidance. That child is established solidly on the guidance of Quran. That child will qualify to be a good child. Everybody say a good child. I want you to say it louder. Now that concept of good child is the concept of the holistic child development in Islam. Holistic child development in Islam has to be focused on raising a good child. And we have seen a prophet whom Allah told that, your son is Gayru Waladu Salih. It's Gayru Salih. It's not from you. You only do not know. That child is not from you because the son disobeyed the guidance of the father. Even though the father was a prophet of Allah and he had the guidance from Allah, that son did not follow the guidance of his father, even though he was a son of a prophet. إِنَّهُ عَمَلٌ غَيْرُ صَالِحٍ. Allah informed that prophet that definitely that your son, wallahi, is not a good child. The son of a prophet. So, the reason why a dad and a mom, a family wants to produce a child, is only with the focus that that child must be good. What makes a good child? What makes a good child? What makes a good child? He wrote a big book on this one. Rahimahullah. A good child is the one that you have raised in solely the worship of Allah, that is established upon Tawheed. He knows the oneness of God. He knows the book of Allah that they are teaching here. And he's exerting himself in the worship of Allah before you die. So that when you want to die, you will warn your child, who is a good child, that, hey, my child, be careful. The way the Prophet warned their children against shirk billah. Ibrahim alayhi salam. Go and see. All the prophets that we know, they all warned their children against associating partner with Allah. Because if your son associates a partner with Allah and called Jesus God, that boy, that child is not a good child. He might be rich in the world, alright. He might be the richest man on the earth, but that child does not qualify to be a good child. Now, when you're now raising that good child through what I call the holistic process of child development in Islam, you do not want anything to dilute Hudan lil muttaqin. That guidance that Allah has given us. That guidance that He alayhi salatu wasalam has come. Allah's spirit here and the kids who are listening. There is now many other guidance. And that is why when people were explaining, there's a sheikh that we met in Jordan. Marcus al-Albani, Sheikh Salman Masoud, may Allah preserve him. He wrote a new treatise upon another book that one of our teachers, may Allah forgive him, Abu al-Hari, Sheikh Hassan al-Halabi, who was gone now. We went to visit Sheikh Hassan's family in Jordan, and then he announced that he has completed writing this book. And what is all this book about? It is about the Khutbatul Hajj that the Prophet used to do. in Alhamdulillah, and we will say the best of guidance is guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that is what we are going. The best of guidance is what? Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because he alayhi salatu wasalam, during his lifetime, knew that during his time there were many guidance. And after he had gone, in fact, there will be many more guidance. Oh, you who is here today, I want you to be here in the next 10-15 minutes that I'm going to share this with you. Social media is a guidance. In fact, it's not just a guidance, it's a massive guidance. Any guidance that's going to compete with social media must be a solid one indeed. A well-cooked one, a well-manufactured one. Social media is not small. The evolution of internet is not small. Those scholars in Misr who was defining the Dajjal, the coming of the Dajjal. You know, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that Dajjal is coming, right? The man is going to have one eye on his head. He ﷺ said he's going to come. In fact, he's going to have so much power that he will raise your great-grandfather, he will raise them from the dead, from their grave. And your father will say, Ya Bunayya, Ittabi'uhu. My son, follow him. He has that power. He will have his own hellfire in this world. He will have his own Jannah in this world. Whoever enters his hell will enter the Jannah of Allah. The Dajjal is real and is coming. Some people erroneously, of course it is erroneous because there's no evidence for them to say internet is the Dajjal. But whether that's correct or not, just sometimes the hadith is not sahih. But that does not say we should not take meaning from it. But that's kutum in there. They said it's an hadith. But if even it's not an hadith, we can take silent, wisdom from it. Okay, there's a benefit in keeping silence. That's what that thing is saying. We do not say it is an hadith from the Prophet, but it makes sense as a statement. Anybody can make a wise statement. Even Barack Obama will say a wise statement and he will write it on the map. The internet, the evolution of the internet, the evolution of the various social media platforms is a big guidance for the people that it guides. For the Muslim families, for the Muslim children, that they are aimed at raising a good child, it is a massive, big misguidance. So, the dad and the mom who wants to raise a waladu salih, a good child, must in their preparation of those children and in the teaching of those children, must recognize that the social media is not a small diversion, it's a perversion. It is a way that can mislead a child that has been raised upon the huda lil muttaqin, the way of Quran, that can lead that child to another way. Why do we say this? Because there are so many evidences. So many evidences. When I wrote this topic, this lecture, I remember I did a research. Because the people, academic people who invited me, wanted the research in percentages. We found out that actually there is the social element of mental health connected to the social media going to our children. We found research where young children are getting anxiety, depression, harassment from social media. So let's talk about the mental health as an impact. The social media has an impact on your children in your house. Why? Let the mom and the baby sleeping. The boy and the girl is on the TikTok, is on Instagram and Twitter, and is posting stuff on Facebook. Posting stuff on Facebook with the contention, and anyone who uses social media is connected to something called the social currency. Has anyone heard the term social currency before? Social currency is not this money. It's not money like this. It's not the currency of pounds and dollars. Social currency in social media world is the amount of likes and dislikes and love that you get. Some people are now attached to that currency. If they do not like their pictures, in 10 minutes they are in trouble. Oh, they've not liked my pictures. Oh, who is not liking my pictures? Oh, Mama Laba just not like it. Is he fighting me? Papa Tabe does not like my picture. He is counting the number of loves and likes. Social currency by its nature is addictive. It's connected to the psychology of the user. The more clicks he's having, he's clicking it, he's checking it, even on WhatsApp group. He posts something on WhatsApp group, somebody likes it, they love it, he feels good with it. They don't like it, it doesn't feel good. It's connected to it. When an adult is connected to it by research, how much more do you think a child will be connected to it? Social currency is evil, dangerous, and destructive. The social currency that people follow. I have posted this picture on Instagram. How many likes do I have? 40 likes. This Afar is not like it. This Afar, he has not like it. Maybe. And then the shaitan is using the social currency to even destroy people. I don't know whether you know. I did the research. I went to Lagos. I had a big lecture in a hotel in Lagos. And then I invited the boys, Muslim boys who are the socialites in Lagos. Big boys. I know some of them. So they come to my house. And then I invited one guy that I know is one of the top best. He runs clubs, he runs restaurants. But he's a good Muslim. Because I met him in an itikaf. The reason why we shouldn't judge the reason why you shouldn't judge anybody. But he has one of the best clubs in Lagos. He's running like 7 clubs. And so when you see him on social media, he's in gold on his neck, and he's dancing, and he has a big cigar in his mouth. So he is known as the Amududu of Lagos. Right? This boy that I'm talking about. Right? For those of you who know him. But the same boy, I will find him in the inner recess of the mosque where he is praying tahajjud and reading the Quran. The same person. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe he's going to see this video. I want to see what were you saying that? Oh yes. Because I pray for him that Allah increases his level. For the sake that I have a kind of like and love in my heart for him. Because the mother handed him over to me. You know, and the mother's gone down, Allah pardon her. What am I trying to say? The social currency is a destroyer of the efforts you are making to raise a good child. A good child is built upon the Aqidah that is Sahih. A good child has an Aqidah, has a belief inside it. Islam is more a religion that focuses on what is the inside, the mindset, rather than the outside. Alright? Every religious activities that we are doing, Islam focuses more on mindset. Only that we are not talking about it. When you want to make salah, your salah does not start on saying takbiratul ihram. Some people believe it starts from wudu because there's no salah without the wudu. Alright? Before you make that wudu, there's an intention, right? That intention is connected directly to your psyche, to your mindset. So what are you talking about? Ramadan is connected to your intention. Hajj is connected to your intention. If you're going to go Hajj, okay, I got an invitation for Umrah now. And then we were buying tickets, Umrah and saying, fear Allah. Is it not because of this meeting that this person invited me? I said, well, no, I'm not going to sing. So that the intention is not for that meeting. I was going to my Umrah JJ. But I had somebody who said, Baba, let's meet in Mecca now. It will be better if we discuss this when we get to Mecca. And then I said, okay, let's buy the ticket. I was like, are you buying the ticket because of the meeting that is very political? You know, Shimurashi. Meeting not on she. Intention meeting no be Umrah. Intention said you won't feel reward right in the man Amalu. And you are. Mindset. And that's why we're writing a book now. May Allah make it easy. The mindset engineering. What can make a man your real life from the mindset that you have. Waladu Saleh concept, a good child concept, is about mindset engineering. This mindset, the social currency is connected to it. The social currency has come to destroy it. The social currency has come to attack it. Because that is now causing your children harassment. They abuse a boy on the internet, and then he got harassed, and then he went into silence, and from there he got depressed, and then he had anxiety. He's going through rehabilitation and treatment right now as we're talking. 1 case, 2 cases, 3 cases, 4. Within the social care of the Home Office program on youth and children, there is now millions of pounds that the government had earmarked separately to cater for children under anxiety and depression, and now it's going to go through you medical practitioners Why? How do I know this? Because I'm part of the policy maker there. I know that this policy is a big one for the UK government. We now see the reports. You now find that actually it's now more in America. The amount of children going through depression in America is alarming, and it's going at the increasing rate. What is their children now? Therefore, the internet has come, the social media has come as a big perversion, diversion, that's going to take your children from that path of Islam that you want to raise them as a good child to another path that is messing them up, is messing a lot of them up. That is on mental health. I think there are many more. There are many more. What about the main aim of raising a child as a good child? To raise them to be able to worship Allah. Huh? That is the aim, for them to be able to worship Allah. Do you know the Imam in the mosque yesterday? I prayed him next to last night, Tarawih. And the Imam was saying, boys, can you please pray the first 2 rakah of Tarawih? And maybe you can join us for the last 2 rakah of Tarawih. So he's appealing to those boys. Nigeria talk about Tarawih, you don't worry. So that Imam, he knew what's going on. That the boys in secondary school were facing a lot of problems. So for the parents who are calling on their Friday call and said, oh, Sheikh, please come and help us on this, it is not only you. It is the impact of the environment that is affecting your child. Not only that, the impact of social media, the peer group pressure. All these things is not in one person's house. That I was in Ireland, Dublin last weekend, this time last weekend. The boy, Idris, his name, he had a braids on. He's tired. Oh, daddy doesn't want me to do my braids. Daddy doesn't want me to do my, what else do you guys do apart from braids? The afro and all that. Pressure. Pressure. Because the boys are now coming out to say, hey, are we not allowed braids? And don't know what is in Gale work. You don't need to watch the one you want. The man to hire the woman have no money. No, I don't want to support me if I braids. I don't want to support me if I afro to go. Afro is haram. The sunnah of the Prophet is shave it all or leave it all. The Prophet Islam used to, so if a child has an afro, it's okay as long as it's clean. So there are things that we as parents need to also balance. We are coming back there. But the impact of social media is number one, on the personality of the child that you want to raise as a good child. He is going to see many other things on social media. He sees so many quotes that they are now going through, marketing, digital marketing. And when you open a social media, the digital marketing ads are coming first. They come first. The nature of the brain of any human being is that the more you see something, the more attached you become to that thing. Huh? And then they do a lot of graphics on things that are misleading a child. Let's give us an example. The Pride campaign, for example. The Pride campaign is going into the cartoons that your children are watching. It's going into children's books without you knowing. It's creeping into everything. And that's why, alhamdulillah, may Allah bless those boys. There's a group of 8 boys right now who wants to go into game development. And I invited them. And if you have a parent, you want to, your child to go into that, please contact me and I can expand the group. And I want to mentor them, and I've given them 4 different mentors. And I've told those mentors who are professional game developers, you have to train these children to be game developers. Because we want them to be able to develop Islamic games. Ibrahim, my son, is into gaming and with Python and all that. And I want him to develop Islamic games. And then another parent's son, oh, can you join? Now they're 8. We pray that Allah makes them great game developers. So they can make game, because if Muslims are not going to repay wala Muslim, you see people are facing each other. Everything becomes haram, but they don't make any contribution to the community. They will say to one of my daughter, one of my students, over 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago in this country, she came to me and said, they said, I will open my hands when I go for nursing. So my hara will be open. Your hara will be open. And they were true, I remember. They were true. name starts with G. This one starts with Z. Will it mention the Zainab? And Zainab came to me. The other one said, no, I'm not going to do it because I can't remove my niqab and I can't remove my hijab. Zainab was the mama. She won't let during training. Ogo, Loni, Zainab is one of the leading midwife, and what do you call them? And she has also mentored many others. Ọlọ́run pẹ́ kókó mú yẹn ọmọ tó ń tó lóhùn ní ṣe níjọ́ tí wàá bímọ hospital tí ó ti bímọ hospital Zainab got to me. Uncle, do you remember so and so? Yes, I did. She said, my ward today, I'm going to be the one to help her deliver the baby. Let's imagine Zainab did not train as a midwife. Let's now imagine it was a man mouse. A man mouse, no. And that's what we are saying to the Muslim leaders, the Muslim policy makers, especially the gulats, the extreme people who makes haram everything that makes sense, or who pass fatwa from a village in Ilesha, Oshogo, Ibadan. He's in a village, but he's passing that fatwa to people in New York and London City, where we are facing reality. Where our kids, the way we are bringing up our kids is different from the way you are bringing up your son in Ibadan. Completely different. If you use the same approach, you are going to fail woefully. If you are going to raise your child in this country the way we were raised at home, then you are a failure already now, right now. Because we were raised with some Ifati, Ifanu, Ifati, and all those things. If you do that in this country, I will not do as if conflicts moving on my head. You can't. So there's a difference there. The tarbiyah that we now propose to people now is the tarbiyah that is Muhammadiyah. The way he alayhi salatu wa salam raised children. God don't want you, but if you raise your child like that, only you're not being normal. You're not being woman. You're not being correct from overly. I mean, I evidence not to Anas good money. He said, I have been in the service for 10 years. He had never said to me, why did you do this? Why did you not do this? For 10 years, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Pointing to the Rahufun Rahim personality of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And pointing to the great personality of Anas from childhood as well. He had never corrected him and said, Anas, why did you do this? Or Anas, why did you not do this? He said he had never said that to me for 10 years that he was in the service. So, the concept of good child is the goal. I mean, social media has now come as a perversion, as a misguidance to that concept. Because the social media is not just only on, there's another concept called the monologue, the internal monologue. The internal monologue of social media on the children is that it affects directly their mental health. You know, when a child is in the room and you think he's sleeping and the phone is under his bed, that phone, you told her 9 p.m. no more phone or 8:30 no more phone, but he has hidden that phone under the pillow. And then you thought he's sleeping. And then you go and check and say, have you done your card? And say, yes, I've done it. And then he kept it. And then you left and you bring the phone. And it's ticking. How do you know? You don't know. Because some of you are not even monitoring what's going on your children's phone. Neither do you monitor what's going on the laptop. A dad did not know the son was waking up till 4 a.m., 6 a.m. in the morning. Until we got the report from the school that he's falling asleep in his class. And then what African mom and dad wants to do, why were you sleeping in class now? Bang, they start eating. They did not know why the boy had been, what has the boy doing? When I went to the house, I said, can you bring me your laptop? And then I opened the laptop. And then I look at the history and I could see that this boy has not been sleeping. In the middle of the night, he's been watching YouTube reels. He's been watching YouTube reels, many videos, YouTube reels. 4 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning. For the last month, that's what he was doing. They were beating him. I held him in the hand and I, speak to him the way we speak to them. Because beating does not raise a good child. Beating is not the way to raise a child. The only way to raise a good child is to know how to influence them, number one, and how to touch their feelings. If every parent can learn this right now, then the parenting can be as simple as ABC. Number one, how to influence, which is the definition of leadership. Alright? And how to do what? touch their what? Their feelings. If you can ask, even in the Sunnah of the Prophet even the Sunnah of Allah will ask questions that you already know the answer. The Prophet will ask you questions. Ask him questions, let him be the one telling you. Do you think what you have done makes sense? Do you think it's honorable? Do you think it's good for you? He will be the one to say no, yes, no. That question is far better than beating. The impact. There are evidence that it affects their self-esteem. What do we call self-esteem? Self-esteem is how much you like yourself. Self-esteem is how much you like yourself. And self-esteem is connected to who you are as a person for the rest of your life. And that's why some researchers, they believe when you beat a child or you shout at a child and you steal, what you are doing at that time is you are stealing the confidence of that child away. And they grow up with dysfunctional behavior. And now you can see that more in children that maybe they did not grow up with their dads. That there's a possibility. Or children who did not have daddy's attention as much as they had mommy's attention. There's evidence, research that has been proven in this. We do not say that women who are single parents raising children will not have success. No, that's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. Majority of us were raised by our moms, right? Dad had already gone, right? But the presence of a man in the life of a child during that holistic process of raising a child is very important. Now, because of time, what are the solutions? We have talked about the impact on mental health, impact on the personality. The self-esteem is how much that child likes himself. Self-esteem is what the Tarbiyah to al-Islamiyah that is from the Sunnah of the Prophet. It is only focusing on self-esteem. Should I, if in fact I can give you a lot of examples now from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When the Prophet welcomes a newborn baby, immediately that newborn baby comes, we will see the Sunnah that he would always give them kunya, Abu something, something, Khayr, Abu Abdullah. Why is the Prophet of Allah giving the name of a father and a mother to a newborn? Why? Because he wants to pump confidence into the concept, the psyche of that child. You know, when a child is small, and you don't say, Abu Abdullah, Hayakallah, Assalamu alaikum. What do you think that child is? He will feel pompous. He will be like, you know, from childhood, the Prophet starts picking children up by making them feel like adults. Because that name is not the name of a baby, it's the name of an adult. Do we agree? Yes? Big yes, huh? Yeah. If you don't know, please know. There are many examples. The young boy will be on his right, and we know his sunnah start from the right? The young boy is on his right hand, and there are big kibar from the community. Dr. Siddiq, Umar, all of them, big people. And a young boy, Ghulam, a young boy beside him on the right. And they bring milk for him to share. He alayhi salatu wasalam looked at his right. He saw the boy. He looked around. He saw elderly people. You know what he did, sallallahu alayhi wasallam? He turned to the boy and seek permission from him. Can you allow me to give the milk to the elderly one? The boy was a strong personality, but he said, La wallahi, I am not going to allow you, the Prophet. Give me my right. Your son start from the right. What did he do? He alayhi salatu wasalam gave the milk to the boy, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. How do you think that boy will feel for the rest of his life? He will brag. He gave me my right. Do you not know that boy will grow up with confidence all his life? Nobody can bully him. Do you agree or not? Yes. The first solution is bigging up your children. Bigging them up in a way that they beat them up against the vices of social media. There is no child except that they are likely to be influenced with pressure groups, with what the friends are doing in school. What the parents need to do as a job is to start picking them up. It was a popular sunnah that the elders, who are the companions of the Prophet, a popular sunnah that they used to pick up the children. A companion, I forgot his name, one of the people that he alayhi salatu wasalam told to be behind them when he's leading the salah. He entered the mosque. He saw a young boy directly behind the Prophet. He pulled that boy back and then he replaced him in the prayer. The boy got mad, he got upset. After the prayer, the man went to him and said, please, I don't want you to get upset. He prayed for him. He said, it is the contract between me and the prophet. Anytime he's praying, he wants me to be behind him so I can correct his recitation. That's why I pulled you out. He begged the boy. He didn't say, you bayare. He didn't say, I think you do. He begged the boy, may Allah not make you get up. Look at that older man who was one of the best reciters. He mentioned his name in a gift. Istakhbaru al-Quran min arba. The people that knew how to recite the Quran technically during his lifetime, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of them pulled the boy out of the saf, pulled him behind. The boy got angry. He made dua for him. That person was not an ordinary person. He was a person that was known technically for recitation of Quran. And I can keep going and keep going and keep going. Even the boy who came to the mosque and get to closer to the prophet to ask him, give me permission to commit sin. Is that not disrespectful? For somebody to approach the prophet of Allah and said, give me permission to commit sin. Today, if somebody does that to one imam, imam will follow you. But what did the Prophet do? He started the questioning again. Do you want it to be done to your mom? Do you want it to be done to your mother? Do you want it to be done to your sister? Do you want it to? And the boy was answering. We said to you, parents, the power of questioning. The Prophet used it a lot to change the mind and the lives of people. Because the one who asks questions controls the conversation. The one who asks the question does what? Controls the conversation. So, social media, the impact, the solution number one, because of time, is that instead of you boys, I want you to listen. Instead of you to prefer social currency, I want you to prefer the ajr min Allah, the reward from Allah. Of course, you do not see the reward from Allah, but you know that for everything you do, there is a reward. For everything you do, there is a reward that comes with it. When you pray Salah, there is a reward that comes with it. When you fast Ramadan, there is a reward that comes with it. Those rewards, they are far more than the social currency that everyone is looking after. That's number one solution. Number two solution is that you abandon the impression of men. So we don't care what men say. What's our conversation about men? We don't care what people say. Can we hold that? Can we hold it? Can we hold the discussion? Okay? We don't care what people say. Why do we not care? Because we know what Allah says is the most important. Of course, we want people to say good. But in the social media world, it's a world where anybody can just go on social media and post anything about anybody, whether it's true or not. And because that person does not need to come, when you see a man responding to everything, there's one of our sheikh, our Baba in Nigeria, I pick a call and I warned him never to respond to anybody anymore. But he didn't listen anyway. But, it's a wisdom. Because the man will come, anytime they attack him on social media, he will want to come and defend himself. How many times do you want to defend yourself? Against who? The best strategy is for you to be a great person in this world. For you to be somebody that is going to make a global impact. People must attack you now. Who are you? Beside the prophet of God, if you attack them. That does not take the value of who you are away. There's a value inside you. So why do you need to respond? Social media is an avenue where anybody can post any lies against anybody because they want to be popular. There are some social media, Muslim social media guys right now. Those guys are smart guys. They are all financial guys. They're looking for how much money YouTube will pay them, how much money Facebook will, grant them. But they go on there and use their mouth to rubbish the work of all other scholars. They go there and abuse, like this Afana, I want to be popular. I just say, don't go to him now. Me, I have dinners now. I also have my own lekil now. But I don't have one lekil. And the lekil that I have, I'm not interested in letting anyone tempt me from it anyway. And then you put another person into disrepute because you want to become popular. That is social media for you, right? You need to know, children, that social media is a place of lies and deceit. Now, no, that the way you are going to account for your tongue, whatever you use your tongue to do, The same way you are going to account for everything that comes out of your tongue is the same way you are going to account for what your hand types. Let me repeat that. The way you are going to account for your tongue, you know when you say, whoever fears Allah and the day of the resurrection, the same way he said that. For the tongue. The tongue. If you know you don't have any good to say, keep quiet. If you know you don't have any good thing to type, don't go online and type anything. Because it's going to lead you to an accounting Yom Al-Qiyamah that you'll not be happy with. He also said, Man yadiman li ma bayna lihiyayhi, which is your tongue. Wa ma bayna rijlayhi adman lahu al-jannah. Hey, our friend. He guarantees you the paradise. If you can guarantee him your tongue, meaning whatever you use your tongue, because whatever you are saying online, it's as if your tongue is saying it, because it's coming from you, isn't it? It is your word. It is coming from you. You are going to account for it. If you go online and destroy the honor and the image of somebody, it is going to be against you. And somebody was now posting one share, I will discuss it with you on our way back. And my approach is fluid. And that's why I have a relationship with all those shares. All these brothers, we've been together for a long time. I have never had anything to do against anyone's approach. I'm going to Igbo tomorrow. Igbo who has been my guy for a long time. It doesn't mean that our manhaj is the same. It doesn't mean. But it means that we have respect, mutual respect for each other, so whatever everyone is doing. When I invited one of the Afar in Nigeria, because my father liked the Afar now. What's my own? My father liked this Afar. My father is not going to listen to Alhamdulillah and I'm not doing what you guys do. My father will listen to this Afar. And this Afar is a big Afar in Nigeria. And I said, Afar, when I do things here, was a below the phone. Any easy mark from living a mark money. Ah, when he was in the Yawa Bure, yes, Alibaba, me Ferrer, Ufekoa. Any easy, we have been together since 1997. You know, this Abu Ido is the elder brother of this person. And this Abu Ido is my close elderly friend. Somebody who loved me, and I know that this person, you know, when an elderly person loves you as a young person, you will know that this person loves you, Abi. He loves me to the extent that I know he loves me. The person that loves me, am I going to hate him? I'm not going to be irrespective of whatever manhaj. When in Sunnah day, our car was a pillar and tell a Katumako, that would be Sunnah, Fubala Amadi. This idea is one. If I tell Amadi, and think they can take the Fuba, but then think one goes to a walk to Motopalo. Tamara, when you see one Bunya come because I would we are good to Bunya. So the day, to be Diane, to slow any year, the Diane not alone, not to what. Going on social media and become a judge upon the servant of Allah. And we go along. One no social media, one back delay, and we go along, pushing one. Big that to the poor and secretary along Abu and Akbar. He taking a lally, he taking also really like ye, that's a very long. Many eyes will see those type of information and they will like it and they will follow it. And then they will put someone else into disrepute. Because you want to gain honor. Hello, one. When it came and said, hello, one. Abu, your machine, you see one in it, you want to get your way. And that's why, for Motuleko, or Matanko, in this part, that child will know where to talk, when, and even when in the presence of who. There's an elderly professor, a few weeks ago, we were on a call. On a general call, I was in Abuja, and I was like, Dr. Taufik, please, Yawa Logman. 91-year-old professor. Yawa Logman. The young man is okay. I did a Ogman, Yakole. Ogman, they call it Daddy. Daddy, I have come over, sir. Although we know long for Barikasi. Does not mean I don't know what to say. But in the tarbiyah that we know in Islam is kabbar. That's the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have honor for the elderly people. We give honor to the elderly people. This professor, when he was in this country, When we go out together, he would push me to do the talk. Give him more long life. Say amen. And even last week, he was still doing a lecture for us in online. And he's still praying. When I saw him last in Jeddah, we pray Asri together in his son's house. He was not using any chair to sit down. That only his shoulder. No. Therefore, do not go online and put people into disrepute. Do not join those things. Because when you do, it destroys not just the personality or the honor of that person, it also records for you on your Mizan Hasanat Aburu, something that would deflate your good deeds here. So the final note is that children, social media, there's one solution. That solution is combined with something called FOMO. F-O-M-O, the fear of missing out. The fear of what? Missing out. He doesn't want to delete his Facebook or his Instagram to the FOMO. The fear of missing. I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss out. Okay, so what's the solution if you don't want to miss out? There's a possibility you don't need to put your picture on there. That's number one. And there's a possibility you want to be disciplined that, oh, I'm not going to check this account only within a certain period of time. If you can do completely away on social media, that is my number one solution for you. Do completely away and focus more on your subjects, your physics and maths and chemistry and all that. And somebody will say, Uncle, but I can learn that online as well. Oh yeah, you can do YouTube with no account. And you can learn on YouTube. You can ask that a month to get you a teacher and you can learn from the teacher. You don't need to have a social media account to do that. Oh, we have a group at the uni. Okay, fine. That group is on Facebook. Okay, create one with no picture. Stop. Don't go and post your picture on there. Don't go there with the intention that I want to go and show off to somebody. Why do you even need to show off? Anyway, when people who have a lot of value, they are hiding their values. They are big. They are big people, but they are hiding it. They don't want people to know that they are big. But whether you hide it or you don't hide it, once you are big, you are big. In fact, the richest men in the world, go and look at them. They don't care about this, what they wear. Warren Buffett wears the same shirt, white shirt and blazer and the ties all the time. The Facebook guy wears, just shirt and a jean. End of story. The rich men don't care about what they wear. What they care more is the balance in their bank accounts. The real balance in your bank. What's in your bank account? How much money are you going to make when you finish your uni? That's the reality. How much more can you give that amount? That's what we want to know. We don't want to know whether you're wearing a Gucci shoe or you're wearing a Versace or Rolex wristwatch and all that. We don't want to know. We don't care about all that. We know that is the black man thing. The black man mentality is to buy what they don't need. And that's why they continue getting poorer. But I want you to know that you do not need to impress anyone, whether in school or in your group of friends, to become somebody. Can I also teach you what I want you to take from today in a way to impress? It is called technical power. What do I call it? Technical power. Yes, the technical power is knowledge power. Go into your classrooms from Monday. Go into your classroom and be the best in maths and English. Go into your classroom and be the best in biology and chemistry and physics. You will see that all the boys will be running after the girl. All the girls in class will be running after them. They will be coming to your desk all the time. Whether you have a social media account or you don't have a social media account, you become powerful, technically. Knowledge power. What do I call it? Knowledge power. So, once you have that, then care less about whether somebody likes your picture or somebody likes your this or that. So your self-esteem is contained within yourself. And on the final note, because of time, to the parents, that please make sure you do the social media or online audit of wherever your children are on. There are many apps. If you don't know how to get them, speak to people who know how to get them. There are many apps that you can install on the phones or the laptops that will show you the activities of your children. It will show you the activities of your children. You will be able to see what they are up to. Okay? Please do not close your eyes to checking what they are up to online. A mother brought a son. Most of the time, right now, if you don't call me on a Friday between 5 and 11 for all these type of videos, I don't think I have any other spots. But this mother, because of the crying on the phone about the son, the son has now become very addicted to gambling, very addicted to social media account, and is going through a lot. We're not going to say no to that type of consultation. In fact, if I have money, if I don't have money, I'll borrow money from all these accounts and say, okay, I want to sponsor it. Because once you lose your child to that, it becomes a forever lifetime program. And you get up and go. Know what your kids are up to. Today, that boy has now become addicted and he does the tete online. But everything starts from clicking. Those clicks. An addiction to clicking is a problem. And that's what we are done. So parents, do audit of what your children are up to. Don't say, and you know the kids in this country, they keep quiet and they come to some of us and say, they are all African parents. Some kids can tell me that. How could you know they are all African? They are all African parents. African parents, like that countries. Our African parents do this. And the African parents will do that because that is the way we were raised. Have you? Abelon, all of them, they didn't actually have more like one of us. I put him out in social media. One of them, when you are more, I'm not to tell you all of that about. I'm not to tell you all about Chuakambe, our Chualembe, but they are Uluya, they are Walla, Walla, to go to station on my all of that. Nothing am I. You need to they are fire as in terms of new class, the pack quick example. The eye of football. We need to have a coach now of football into one is or practicality. How do we make sure that Omar, community are you problem? So people who are along to one wall, I know I'll be a motion one. Àwọn ustaz wa, àwọn ṣùgbọ́n wa, àwọn àfáà wa tí wọ́n bá wa kọ́ àwọn ọmọ nì iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ló dáa jù nínú gbogbo iṣẹ́ gbogbo tó gbogbo àwọn ilé tí táwọn kiri ayé iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n yìí ló dáa jù ayé ń bí wọn àti ọlọ́run tí ọlọ́run kó dàpọ̀ kó bá wà pẹ̀lú wọn àbẹ̀lọ́run kí ọlọ́run kó bá fún ọlẹ́sàn dáadáa àwọn ọmọ tí wọn náà ọ̀rọ̀ dàpọ̀ tí àwọn náà ó ṣe oríire àwọn ọmọ tí wọn náà ṣe wọn láàfáà ṣe wọn lọ́mọ̀wé ṣe wọn lólówó ṣe wọn lọ́lọ́lá ṣe wọn lẹ́yìn tí gbogbo ayé ó mọ̀ pẹ̀lú dáadáa ilé ìta ṣe iná ọlọ́dàkùn tún fún wa lẹ́nu nínú àtàláfíà àtúnṣe lè tó pọ̀ jù báyìí lọ gbogbo àwọn ọmọ yìí ní ọjọ́ iwájú àmọ́ wa rántí pé a sì ṣàdúrà yìí ọlọ́run sì bàbá bàbẹ́ ọlọ́dàkùn bàbá bàbẹ́ ọlá sàlátù ànábì ọlá aláhùnmá sọ́ọ̀dì alá Muhammad wàsẹ́lì aláhùnmá sọ́ọ̀dì alá Muhammad wàsẹ́lì aláhùnmá sọ́ọ̀dì alá Muhammad wàsẹ́lì ànábì níbẹ̀ gbogbo àdúrà tẹ bá fọ àsàlátù ànábì parí ẹ̀ kọ́ńtrákì wà láàrin mi àtọ̀lọ́pọ̀lọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀wọ́ so eléyìí ń dá akápàtà látọ̀ àti parí àdúrà gbogbo nǹkan mi ọlọ́run kó dákun kó wọlá ata fi wí kó lọ́run dákun kó mọ̀ sí wa lọ́nà ládàá tọrọ fún àwọn afọ àwa yìí àdápadà ẹ̀kún ọ̀pá gbogbo wa oríire tí ń bẹ nù kéèyàn kọ́ wọn ní Quran oríire àjẹjẹ náà nínú ayé àtàkùnrin oríire náà ọlọ́run dákun ti ká gbogbo wa jẹ́ kó yé wa pé Quran yìí gángan nìyàrá jẹ́ kó yé wa pé ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ̀ gángan lẹ̀kọ́ ọlọ́run kó dákun kó ràn wá lọ́wọ́ gbogbo arísìkí resources láti ṣe ọlọ́kùnrin àkókò fún wa aláwọ̀ látọ̀dá lágbàdá nàìjíríà wọlé àmà ilẹ̀ akọ̀lẹ̀ ìta wọlé àrùn ìdá ilẹ̀ àṣẹfẹ́ wọlé àjẹsọ̀tẹ̀ àwọn ìdílé wọn láàbẹ̀ ilẹ̀ akọ̀lẹ̀ ìta yẹ lẹ́ntẹ̀lẹ̀ ìwọ̀n ìyá ọ̀gbọ̀n àárẹ̀ اللهم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله وسلم على رسول الله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وقول هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام
May Allah increase in goodness and companies as part of this excellence and make it easier of him in this world and in the hereafter. We've got a couple of questions mostly from the boys, right? Yeah. So the first question. So the first question is it permissible in Islam for a male to do rape?
Okay.
The second one. Can someone perform Umrah with dreadlock. And how is he going to cut it after that? The front of the big one. So it's like this fast. So this person says that the question is not totally related to the lecture we're having today. But so it's a very long one. So he says that he listened to a lecture that one of the stars online actually did a lecture that it's permitted to marry the daughter of his wife, like it's permissible for a man to marry the daughter of his wife, if as long as they're not making. So now the question came in two parts. The question is, would he divorce the mother in order to marry the daughter? If so, what will happen between the relationship of the mother and the child? Because surely the child is strange, as the daughter will now be married to his mother ex-husband. And because Islam has enjoyed respect and good relationship between mother and child. So I would say that this is permissible actually.
Okay. Is that last question from a boy as well or from an elderly person? Okay.
So there's this question I think just
okay, I get it now. I can see somebody, okay, I can see somebody saying from an elderly person from the ground.
So if you're praying and somebody like a young boy pushed you up and told you that he's meant to be there and he told you to keep quiet, what will you do?
Okay, alright, so let's answer the 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 4, not the 3. The 3 is a complicated one. And a man marrying the daughter of his wife. Let's pack that. We're not going to answer that. Whoever wants to get the answer, speak to the sheikh, inshallah, we can be on the telephone, inshallah. Number 1, can you as a boy, a child, can you do braids, Muslim boy, who is on the training to become a good child, can you do braids? Yes, Islam has not said no to braids. Braids is not haram. Listen to this. In the culture, the Nigerian Muslim culture, braids is seen as negative because it is connected to a god. You know, some gold, but when you see some gold, but when you see some gold, braids, okay, to weave your hair is likened to a god of thunder in our culture. So it is not really looking honorable. Listen, we did not say it is haram. Because something that is haram is when you do it, you get punished for it, right? Huh? He used to have his ears so long that he will reach here. Okay? There have been some of the Arab people with long hair that will put those ears together and they will pray with it. Okay? And there was no complaint or nahiya from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If Allah does not make it haram, who are we to make it haram? Now, the reality in our marriage is that Muslim Nigerian families, we also need to come to terms with something. So I went to the US, in Maryland. My own brother, the first son of the Bass, on his graduation day, he went to make a nice braid, mashallah, with a nice scarf. Muslim of the other. And then he had the, what do you call it, the black thing that you roll on your head. What's that called?
Durag.
No, not bandana.
Durag.
Let me speak to them. Thank you, Darren. Durag. Thank you. The Durag, eh? And then they had the Durag on him because when he came to visit me in the hotel, he had the Durag. So I didn't know what's under the Durag, okay? He wanted to show me at the outset so that I would not go and say, oh, why did you have braids on? You know what I did? When I saw it on his graduation day, and I went there with my phone and I said, oh boy, you're looking handsome with that. You know why I did that? So that because he's already scared of this year, he's going to rubbish me with this year. I did not do that. Because what he had done there is not haram. Only that we do not prefer it. We don't want it. I don't want my son to have braids on. I don't want my son to have, be some but the same boy, you know what drag is. And how it does waves. You know the waves, huh? In fact, you can even use that to train him how to look after his hair. Let him do afro. Do that. What's your name, man? What's your name? Yes, you. Huh? Moise. Oh, I'm from Moise. Okay, I like Moise's ear because he had looked after that ear. As long as your afro is not too high in the front and lower at the back or the side, make it same level. Same level. Leave it all same level. Comb it nicely with good oil. But please do not keep the comb in your ear or comb in the back and sag your trousers. Please don't do that. Do your own as a good Muslim child. A good what? Say that louder. A good Muslim child afro is different. A good Muslim child afro is not rough, number one. It's soft and black. And he knows all the oil to put to make it blacker. I forgot what you need now. I think I will ask my son. You put those oil, it makes it blacker, softer, and then you do the comb before you leave home. You can also keep that comb in your school bag. When you go in the, you don't comb on the road, neither do you comb in the classroom. You go into the bathroom when you want to make a food and comb it again and make it look nicer. Do you understand now? So afro is allowed. Sporting waves is allowed. So wear the durag only in the house. The durag only where? In the, don't wear the durag outside the house. Why? Because he used to prepare himself inside his room before he comes out, not when he comes out. He would say, I want to appear nice to the people. He would come here, he would put on perfume, he would do everything inside the house. Wear the durag in the house. Brush your waves inside the house. Look for a professional barber who knows how to do waves. Do waves, do afro, but please leave the braids. Leave the braids. Leave the braids. If you are really hell bent on braids, then you need mommy and daddy to call you, and then we can now discuss it at the high level. Braids will now be very difficult to approve. We don't want you to do braids. Afro, waves, you look handsome in that. Mashallah, tabarakallah, you look good in that. Abdul Muiz looks very nice. Abdul, stand up, let them see your face. Stand up. Look at Abdul Muiz here, mashallah, and he's a tall guy, mashallah. Do you play basketball? Do you play basketball? I don't like that. I don't know who. Sit down. You know? So this is the answer to that one. The second one is Umrah locks. When you go Umrah and you have done locks and braids, how are you going to do it? And then you need to trim your hair when you get to Umrah. I will say to you, lose your locks when you're going Umrah. Lose it. Lose it completely. Don't go Umrah with dreadlocks and we go to the market, to the Kaaba, and we are thinking, this is what you're BJ Buku, right? So when I do not send them away, I have it. I have every monthly, every 2-month clubs that I meet this guy. And they are one, but they are Muslims. They are Muslims. So, do not do the lots when you are doing Umrah. When you go into the house of Allah, lose it all, wash it, and then go trim it. You don't need to clean, shave all of it. No, you don't need to clear all of it. You can trim it and come back and do whatever you want to do. So, the knowledge of doing the ear or doing fashion in Islam, in fact, there's a lecture we did at Manfield Institute, the University of Leicester. Okay, what place does Islam place fashion? We are obeying people. We are nice. We know how to dress. I mean, look at the cap this Abba is using. Very nice cap. Look at the cap this Abba. You even look at his glasses. So we are obeying. We're not like and you want to check me out Monday to Friday and come and see my blazers. Come and see what I wear to work. You are not on the training. So I say self-you. I have never seen you wear a blazer. So you wear a blazer? Yeah. I'm a qualified accountant. I'm qualified with 2 bodies. I wear ties and blazers, of course. They call accountant in my home. Oh, God. Therefore, don't think that we are out of war, we don't know what we are doing, or we don't know fashion. Okay? We know what we are doing in terms of fashion. So that we don't say they are Nigerian parents, they are not really obeying. The last one is not so if somebody is praying in the front, you don't need to put that person back. Why do you want to put them back? You don't need to. You're not believing in school. You don't have any rewire from anyone to put someone back. Leave them where they are praying and you pray behind them. The only time you can put someone back is if 2 people are praying in front. One is Imam, one is Mahmoud. Okay? And you are joining the prayer. You can pull the other one who is not the Imam back to join that back. Because you don't want to be on the last row by yourself. He says, the one is on his last row by himself, he is there with the sheep. So what do you want to do? You want to pull the one beside the Imam in the front, tap him, but make sure he has the knowledge. Because if he doesn't have the knowledge, don't say, leave me, leave him. Go be on the side of the Imam, on the side or the other side, be on the same row with them. maybe the Imam has the knowledge to step forth. Don't fight people. Of course, for example, you are praying with Asian people. You go to East London Mosque now. You want to pray with Asian people, and you're not saying South Sudan. The legs must be straight to the Qibla. No, Asian will defense against it. Don't. When he's moving out, don't move close to him. Leave him. Leave that one. If you want to move closer, do side by side with your children or your friends to go to the mosque. That's what we do. We do side by side, so we can get that issue in Salah. That's the hand. If he's moving his leg, don't move close to him because that is inconvenience. You are disturbing his issue of Salah when you are doing that. So don't pull anyone from the front except that they are the second person to the Imam. I hope this is clear. And if they do not understand the pulling back, let them be where they are. Join them on that way, and may Allah Ta'ala accept it from us.
صلوا على النبي الكريم صلوا على النبي المصطفى قال الله سبحانه وتعالى to please in the very mercy guide our chief Islam as we all know him. This is what we must deserve to do. Sheikh, the president of Dr. Tawfiq Abdul Salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to spare his life so that we can enjoy his man. Can we say Amen? As he said from his word, he said, he's a professional and also is a chartered accountant as well. Gbogbo wa náà la gbádùn wọn púpọ̀. Ọlọ́run má ṣe